Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today's video is actually a video that requested to me a few times actually, and so I'm finally sitting down to make this video, and it is how do I prevent mommy burnout? On pretty much every single one of our Q&As that we've had on this channel, I've always gotten the question that says, what do you do for me time, or what do you do to prevent mommy burnout, or something along those lines. And to be honest, I have a whole list of things that I like to do. I don't want to make this intro too long, but I have two things to say before I go through my list. One is I can do every single thing on my list and still feel burnt out, still feel mommy guilt, still feel just worn out. Even if I tried to do everything on the list. So don't feel bad if you just need time to say to yourself, I'm burnt out, I can't do this right now, or this is too much for me, I need a break, or whatever it is. That's okay too. And the other thing I want to say is every person is different. You can probably tell in my list of things to prevent mommy burnout is that I like to be by myself. I'm kind of an introvert, but my batteries are recharged by being alone. Sometimes people's batteries are recharged by being with others, or talking to somebody, or being out in a big crowd, or being out where there's like commotion and stuff and they feel recharged that way. Mine's the opposite. I like to be recharged by doing nothing, being calm, being quiet, things like that. So this list is just what I do to prevent mommy burnout. These are things that people have asked me, and I would love to share them with you for you to try, or for you to have ideas for yourself. But I would really just sink in and think about what it is that you like to do, not being a mom. I love being a mom. Being a mom is my job. Being a mom is the number one thing that I love to do. I love my kids, but I'm also a person. I am Jennifer. I'm a person before I had kids. And so what do I like to do, or what did I like to do before I had kids? And most of the time that's the answer. Most of the time, let's say you liked hiking before and you just don't have time for hiking. Make time for hiking, and I promise you, you will feel better. So I'm gonna go ahead and get through my list. So the first thing on my list is actually to be with your girlfriends or your guy friends or your friends in general. That is not being an introvert, but that is something that can recharge you, and it does recharge me too. I have like 3 or 4 really close girlfriends that I love to hang out with, and most of the time when we get together, it's just for dinner and drinks, or just drinks and talking. It's something that's still low key. We don't go out to like the bars or anything like that, although that would be fun too. But most of the time we just sit and talk about what's going on in our lives, and just kind of encourage each other and laugh about things that happened in the past and things that are going on now. And most of the time when I get home, I feel recharged and I feel ready to go for the next day to be a wonderful mom. So definitely reach out to those friends, ask your husband or significant other or your parents or somebody to watch your children for you, and go out even if it's for a few hours. Sometimes I don't leave till the kids' bedtime, and I just go out for like 2 hours and I come home and go to bed early. The second tip that I have, and something that I do very often, is like a DIY spa night. Now, I love to get massages, I love to get manicures and pedicures, but those can cost money and those take a lot more time. But most of the time when the kids go to bed, which I'll talk about that in one of the next tips, is to take time, take a nice warm bath, do a facial, paint your nails, whatever it is that you want to do. Sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I listen to podcasts, and I kind of just shut down. I'm in the bathroom by myself, no kids are whining and crying at the door, and that just kind of recharged me. Number one, I feel clean when I'm done. I feel like I'm pretty, I have a glowing face, I have my hair is washed, my nails are done, or whatever it is you want to do, and I promise you'll feel great. And sometimes you need to do that extra thing. Like, we all take showers, we all paint our nails most of the time, but if you want to do like some sort of exfoliant or some sort of facial peel or something that's different than what you normally do every day, that'll help a lot too. Now, number 3 is what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, and that's alone time. if you don't like to be alone or you feel like you're alone, a lot of times moms feel like if they're home with their kids all day, they don't have anybody to talk to, like have any adult time. And so being alone can kind of just be even more lonely. But again, for me, I love being alone. No offense to my husband, I love my husband, but a lot of times I just want to be quiet. So some things that I'll do, I'll read a magazine, I'll read a book, I'll listen to podcasts with my headphones in, I'll listen to music. I do Bible time. A lot of times I do my Bible time in the morning when I wake up. I do like a daily devotion, and I like to wake up before the kids to have alone time before my day gets started as well. And no matter what time the kids get up, I want to make sure I'm getting up an hour before them. So a lot of times your kids will be waking up around the same hour, the same time each day. Try to get up before that, have your cup of coffee or whatever you do, get yourself ready, and that way you're ready when the kids wake up. Watching TV, I have a lot of TV shows that I like that Chris doesn't like, or Chris and I have shows that we like to watch together. So we'll say like, hey, let's get the kids to bed so we can watch a show together. If we're having like special snacks or special dessert that we don't normally give the kids, something like that can really help. So number 4 is date night. That can go with, you know, your girlfriends or whatever, but if you have a significant other, I definitely recommend a date night with them. We find a lot of times that Chris and I, especially because he works from home as well, we go through our day-to-day routine, and sometimes we go to bed or we're in the bed about to go to sleep and we're like, we didn't really even talk to each other today. Like we said words to each other like, hey, can you change her diaper, or can you go do this, or what are we having for dinner? Like we talked that way, but we never really talked to each other to see how we were doing that day or anything like that. So a lot of times a date night or something, even if you're having a date night at home, like I said, we'll watch shows or something together, but even taking it a step further, going out to dinner, going to see a show or something like that can really reconnect you with your husband and really make you feel like yourself again and prevent that mommy burnout. Okay, number 5 is a tough one, I know, for a lot of people and a lot of moms, but it is get enough sleep. I swear that when I do not get enough sleep, I am not as good of a mom as I could be, and I get mommy burnout 10 times faster than I do if I do get some sleep. So my kids are on a strict sleep schedule, and so they have specific times that they go to bed. They all 3 go to bed around 8 o'clock. And if we're doing something fun, or if we're having a movie night as a family, or we're out as a family doing something, then that 8 o'clock bedtime might not be feasible. But if we are home, they're definitely going to bed at 8 o'clock. And that way I usually try to get in bed by 10. So I have 2 hours to myself or with Chris, or if I need to catch up on YouTube work or something like that. I have those 2 hours. I know I have those 2 hours to get whatever done, my DIY spa night or my girls' night out or something like that. And then I go to bed at 10 o'clock, and then I get a whole night's rest. My kids sleep through the night because we have done the sleep training and the sleep schedule. They sleep through the night, and then I feel refreshed in the morning. Also with alone time or getting some rest, my kids have nap times. Jane is 5, and so she does not nap. And then this coming year, she'll be in kindergarten, but she has quiet time. So Jackson and Piper, if you have 2 kids that are napping together, I would definitely recommend getting them on a sleep schedule so they can nap at the same exact time. So Jackson and Piper nap between 1 and 4, and that's Jane's quiet time between 1 and 4. That way I can film videos like this, I can watch a show, I can get some cleaning done. I try to do all my chores during this time so that I can spend time with the kids when they're awake. But whatever I need to do, that gives me like a little recharge throughout the day. I know I've said in one of my vlogs before, if any of the kids for whatever reason don't nap, it kind of throws me off for the rest of the day because I didn't get my mommy time to myself and a little bit of quiet and like a restart for the afternoon. So I definitely recommend getting some sleep. Like I said, I know if you have a newborn or if your kid is not a good sleeper, that can be really hard. And I know that you get mommy burnout so much faster when you're up and down in the middle of the night, you don't get a lot of sleep, you're frustrated with their sleep schedule or they're not sleeping, and it's very hard. I know because I've been through that. So just know that that won't last very long, and I would definitely recommend to work on some sort of sleeping schedule first and then kind of go from there. So number 6 is to put your husband to work. Now, my husband means the world to me and he works from home, but my job is being a mom and being like a homemaker. So a lot of times Chris doesn't clean. He doesn't do much cleaning. He'll help me do dishes. He'll help me clean after dinner. He cooks dinner a lot of times, and he'll pick up here and there. If there's a mess on the floor, he'll vacuum it up. But things like cleaning the bathrooms, doing the laundry, doing like mopping the floors, cleaning baseboards, things like that, he doesn't do, because that's what I feel like is my job. But if I am feeling like I'm having mommy burnout and there's like a to-do list running in my head and I'm freaking out because I have so much to do and the house is dirty, then I put him to work. He totally understands, he gets it. So if I say, the bathrooms are a disaster. The kid's bathtub is just messy and dirty. Can you please just scrub it down for me? Or can you please just mop that area of the floor? It looks terrible. I don't feel like doing it right now. A lot of times, he is definitely willing to step up for that. So just ask for help. That's another tip. Ask for help from your significant other. Ask for help from a parent or a friend. There's definitely people out there that are willing to help you. Okay, number 7 is actually a tough one for me, and I really try to practice this, but is give yourself a break. This is also kind of tying in with the last one. If there's a million things to do, if there's dishes in the sink, I like to go to bed with a very clean kitchen. I don't like any dishes to be in the sink. I like to make sure that my to-do list is done when I go to bed, so I have a fresh to-do list in the next morning. You guys know me, I'm kind of OCD with that kind of stuff, and with my cleaning schedule, I like to get everything done. But if I'm having a tough day, or I feel like I need to spend more time with the kids for whatever reason, or we've been super busy, or we've been out of town, or whatever it is, sometimes you have to give yourself a break, and that's really hard for me. So I totally get it if it's hard for you as well. But the dishes are gonna be fine if they're in the sink overnight. You just have to know that you're gonna be doing them in the morning or that next day, and you just kind of have to block that out and just stop and be done for the day. Same thing if your kid isn't sleeping and you wanna get to bed at a certain time, but there's a million other things to do. Just stop for the day and go to bed and get your rest. So that one, like I said, I think that's probably the hardest one for me to do and the hardest one for me to try. So I usually do all the other tips first before that, and I usually drive myself crazy with my to-do list. So my last tip number 8, is to work out or at least get some fresh air. Sometimes I feel like just going outside and breathing the fresh air can give me like a restart to my day, or if I'm feeling burnt out or I'm feeling like I can't do this anymore, the kids are driving me crazy, I'll just ask Chris to watch the kids for just a second and I step outside. Again, I know if you are home alone with kids, you can't just leave the kids and go to the gym, or you can't just leave the kids and go get some fresh air. But when you do have a chance, I would definitely do that. Or if you want to take the kids outside with you to get some fresh air, I definitely recommend that. Sometimes I forget that because I'm caught up in whatever's going on, and there's a mess over here, and this person's getting into the toilet paper, and I have to cook lunch because it's time for them to eat, and then I'm just like, I just totally forget that there's an outside world and there's things going on outside besides in my home. And so sometimes just going outside and looking at the trees and the birds and stuff, you can just kind of restart and refresh. Those are all my tips. I do want to say, for me, again, sometimes I just have to have nothing. I just have to have like, not have to think about anything. So like mindless shows. I like shows that I have to think, but if I'm trying to take a break, I like shows where I can just kind of watch and kind of not watch, or podcasts that I don't really have to listen. It's just kind of like noise. Or like when I'm taking a bath or something, just having music on to just think about nothing, or to think about everything. It depends on how I'm feeling. So I hope these tips helped you. I know whenever I get that question in a Q&A, I feel like I have so many things in my head that I want to suggest, but that would take forever. As you can see, this video is already super long. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with your mommy friends. I would love for you guys to share my videos with your mom friends as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and we'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.